I'm Peggy Fong Chen. So if you Google me, you're going to see me on the internet. Okay. My latest job was I'm a broker owner. I own Remax, and that I was considered top sales, top 10 in the United States for quite a bit of time, like 7-8 years until COVID. I rest for a little bit. So prior to that, I was also a college instructor. I'm also very active at church level, and I like to help people because it gives me joy. So the way I discovered this was I was helping one of my relatives that has 4th stage cancer. So because of that, I brought them to some, cancer facilities to help. Then I realized there's a lot of naturopath, a lot of technology, and that's how I find out Dr. Chen's name. Then find out one name is not, enough. I want to do a lot of research background of who he is, so I got his contact. And after 6 months that I study a lot on the internet, also about stem cells myself, I study day and night, quite a bit of time. And I talked to Dr. Chen over WhatsApp, over the phone. And his personality really attracted me a lot because most of the doctors, they are like kind of high in profile and then they don't talk to you. Admitted to them is a lot, But I realized that Dr. Chen is a very humble, he has the highest of integrity from what he did, especially the way that he was curing some autistic children, and I was just very impressed about him. Then I start looking at all his backgrounds. So whatever he sent me, I study. And of course, I started to explore stem cells in China and other countries and all those. It existed. Then I was very surprised because I'm from LA. Why is that it's not legalized in LA? But you that you have to go through a lot of steps. And then, well, by the way, I was told that lately Florida was actually legalized, for stem cells. And I also, in my line of business, I handle a lot of business sales with doctors. 30% of my business, I handle doctors. So that's why in this field, I discover a lot in Cancer Center, City of Hope, which is our most famous cancer center, that they all agree that they know stem cells and stem cells works. For that 2 statements, then I tell myself, okay, then I have a very inherited background of heart disease. And at a young age, close to 30, I already have the first stroke. And then I actually have a seizure. At one point, they tried to take away my license at a young age, and I recovered, they gave me the license. And then I also have continuous TIA. So as I grow older, I realized I don't want to pass away young like my younger brother. He passed away, heart disease, after many surgeries too. Then I consult 3 doctors in LA, and they all 3 say that Peggy, sad to say, one of them is my very close friend. He actually passed away recently. And he was the one that very, very genuinely tell me that, I'm sorry to tell you, I'll do my best to cure you, but with your heart problem, it's a little irregular. I have irregular heartbeats, and as I told you, my heartbeat actually went up all the way to 115, and if I go on a machine in a gym, it can shift to 150, and the alarm would be up. So I was working so hard, how you have to, feed the family and all those, or your career. But up to a point, I tell myself, what good does it make if my health is not encouraging me to continue to help other people? I was very active at church level. So I started helping my relatives who has cancer. And as you grow older, did you realize you go to funeral more and then you have more people that have cancer, that have this, stroke. And my mother actually died from Parkinson's disease also. That would what struck me to tell myself, there got to be something in this wide world that would help my heart. Then when I talked to Dr. Chen, he was very brave. He was just telling me, no problem. So his assertiveness, his confidence, that drove me to do further research. And guess what? Finally, after half a year of research and prayers, I have the peace. And I tell myself, what do I lose? If there's one way out, what do you think? If that's the only door, you don't go through it, there's no back door. So I came over. And indeed, the treatment were done. And I was surprised they have all these facilities for you. I was in an older building about 1.5 years ago. And it is very strange. I think about the 4th day or 5th day, I already found out something changed in my body, which I couldn't believe. And then after I went back to LA, probably about 3, 4 months, 5 months, it was actually right after COVID at that time, people actually were surprised and start telling me that, Peggy, you look younger, and I trimmed down, and I'm happier, and all those. I think this is not really magic. This is the real truth, right? I mean, just like if you don't believe stem cell, it's just you don't believe a cell can start a baby. A cell start an infant, a toddler, and then an adult, and then old age. That's all about the miracle of God when He made man. So that's basically why I came over. So prior to the stem cells treatment, for so many years, I mean, when you're younger, you didn't measure your blood pressure, right? But after you passed out in the office, you passed out anywhere, you started to realize, then you check my blood pressure. I even went to see Chinese doctor, Chinese medicine. Every time I measure, it's like, wow, you're 90/60. Well, I said, no big deal, I have been 90/60. So there were times it was 80/50. So I remember when my mother passed away, the media shows 50, 40, 30, she's leaving the world. I tell myself, I said, 50 is pretty bad, right? So after the stem cell, I could not believe. Every time I measure, actually, it was only like probably about 3 weeks' time. I measured, it was already 110/70. Impossible. I don't believe it, okay? So from that point on till now, I'm always 110 or 120/70, between 70 and 80. And my heartbeat is always under 100. Good times is 80, bad times is 95. It never cross path 100. So that is a number proof to you. I'm in business too. Give me the proof. Give me the numbers, right? So never ever. So every time I go physical checkup, and for the past 2 years, I went to I sneak in a 3rd time, 3 times physical checkup. The doctor was surprised. I actually registered myself one of the biggest, largest, #1 hospital, Hook Hospital in Orange County. And the doctor said that, hey, wait, with your health, with your blood pressure is very good. How come? I wish everybody come in with your age with this blood pressure. I'm not disclosing my age, of course, but you can kind of imagine, My career in real estate is already 20 years. And another thing I realized, I have thyroid problem. So it's very strange. And Dr. Chen knew that I have thyroid problem. So he gave me some ASI, the immune system. I kind of like, oh, okay. I trusted him for stem cells. I might as well trusted him for this. It was a little not easy because I have to do injection into my tummy for like 60 days, right? So I did that diligently. And then the last physical checkup, I went to my doctor. I've been taking Synthroid, 50 milligrams for the past 10 years since my mother passed away. Okay, it was a lot of stress. You know how thyroid thing comes with stress, and 1 out of 2 has it, they told me. And strange enough, the doctor actually prescribed me lower, 25. I said, why you do that? And he goes, well, you're very normal. You have no prior problem. So I still don't believe today, to be honest with you. Yeah. The thing that I feel very different is mindset. I'm a coach. I'm a career coach and realistic coach. So I coach better. I was in depression for quite a while in COVID as my husband had a stroke. But I felt that out of no help, you can imagine I saved my husband's life after 3 months, help him. I tell myself, I got to be well. If I'm not well, I cannot even do this anymore. Yeah, that's why. So I can feel energy come back, mindset come back. It's a lot of the reason has been here. It's strange. So he gave me I think, brain, heart, some other places. He's just very knowledgeable himself, but is willing to share his knowledge. So you know how when you see the doctor, 5 minutes giving you don't even know what's happening. But every question, he will not skip. He will answer you. And he would treat you as if you're the only patient in town, which is rare. That's why I truly speak highly of him with a personality like this, high of integrity. And I just wish everyone knows that stem cells work. I mean, stem cells is everywhere right now, all the countries. But just like if you want to find the best doctor, to answer your question, I would travel to the best doctor in order to get healed. I will not spend any little money for Mickey Mouse stories that they'll heal me. No, they won't. Because, yeah, it's a little costly, but think about all the doctors that they are on this level of expertise. Everyone got to get paid, right? So it was quite a long time ago. Yes, I had a mini stroke. So I basically went to a doctor. People just told me I woke up and then I couldn't move, and I went to a doctor. People introduced me. I went to a doctor who's a Malaysian, happened to be Malaysian, okay, 80 years old. And he just did kind of like the Chinese thing, the massage and the cuppings and all those. But he told me to go there one Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I was sent to hospital, of course. I remember that my left was all gone. I cannot even suck with a straw, right? And cannot move here, very difficult. About a month after he did it for me, I was able to walk and flex my wings. And I have to tell you the truth that 3 months, I thought I got cured. But I lost a lot of memories. Not only that, I lost the capability of programming for life. Yeah. So I was in garments, production, for name brands. Yeah, I have about couple hundred employees. After I worked very, very hard. I think I worked too hard, okay? But not talk about the reason. So the aftermath, I thought I got well because I was too young. But my health started deteriorated without really knowing it. So I lost a lot, but the good thing is then I enter another career, which is real estate. Then I'm like, wow, people is like, who are you? How come you like doing business like this? I think partially it's because of my heart to help. So you know how I treat you like my own? So people were impressed and they refer people like this. So that's how in no time I became number one there, and then aggregate was top 10 in the United States, I think for 8 years. So I got all the awards. Then I checked my doctor. I said, what happened? They said that I'm doing business like flipping pancakes. I earn all these money. And then I checked my doctor. The doctor said, because of the prior situation, your brain was pretty vacant already. So they said that I was easy to relearn something like this. Well, that nobody knows whether or not it's the truth. But I guess part of it is personality. I strive for the best. Then because of that, I start being a coach. I coach other people how to fish, to career. And because of my teaching experience, I would say, my parents did a good job for me at a young age. I was already like very competitive. First of all, I brought my husband here for a reason. It's been 6 years, going to 7 years. So obviously, with a stroke patient, he has a serious stroke. It was during COVID. So I thought he got healed for 3 months, and then he was 190 pounds. But then, as time goes, he has more serious situations, and that everything was due to the fact is one word, serious depression. So when he's depressed, what happened to him? Bad temper, right? Keep eating. And when he eats, like anything on the table, he'll eat. So now he becomes obese. I mean, he's 6 foot, now he's like 230 pounds. So I got scared because my younger brother passed away 225 pounds. Okay? So it's like a red light to me. So I was thinking, wow, the way it goes, even though I kind of saved his life, now it's 6 years in, he was walking, no problem. When he got out of hospital, he was on a wheelchair. He was not able to see with his left eye, right? So you look at him physically, he's fine, but mentally, the depression was so deep to a point that he always tell me one thing, I think I just want to last 1 more year. I might as well die. And when he have close friends visit him, he'll tell him, I want to go. He want to give up his life. Then I tell myself, okay, why don't we do a last shot? Because in LA, so many doctors have seen him. One doctor will say he's in depression. So they give him mental pills and depression pills, sleeping pills, like up to 15 of them. So every single day he sleeps. So no trouble, right? Sleep, eat, medicine. He lost a life. Then I talked to Dr. Chen. So his heart goes for me. Okay, because I know stem cell will help him. Let's hear. So this time, we have pre-planned what to do with him. So we'll yet see the result, but only 2 days here, I've already seen the result. He's a lot happier. He knows that there's a way out, just like when I came. There's a door. You either go through it, or you don't go to the back door. It's the dark. So it's weird. I prayed about it again. He knows I'm quite knowledgeable, not a doctor, but in a lot of areas about situations and stroke. I read a lot of books about stroke. I asked him one day, would you like to do stem cells? If this chance you take, it's going to heal you and you have a life back. No time, he said, yes, I want to do it. So we fly all the way from United States to Taiwan to stop over, transfer plane to over here. Praise God for that chance. And also I have to coordinate with Dr. Chen because it's so busy, right? So the timing has to be right. So when I talked to my other friend, he also told me that I've been doing a lot of research. There are Chinese doctors. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be even quoting countries. There are other countries' doctors that does stem cells. But for some reason, Peggy, since you've done stem cells before and you told me there's a great effect on you, I trust you. Can you tell me more? And that's how we started. So we talk about it. I said, well, he's giving a lot of lecture in Las Vegas. If you really want to meet him in person, that's a chance. So he went to Las Vegas, spent $1,400 just to listen to him. But afterwards, he managed to take a photo. And of course, Dr. Chen forgot about him. He couldn't really shoot in front to talk to him a little bit because all the news reporters were surrounding him, and that's it. So I talked to him, continue, and Dr. Chen is so nice. We forward some of the background things to him, and then he said, I want to try this. Because the reason was he's on high diabetes. Same thing, you see the door, either you go through it nicely, or there's a back door, there's an end. So he said, I'll spend the time, I'll spend the money, I'll invest in this opportunity. So I'm not saying we're investing on the money, we're not saying we'll invest on the time, I'll invest on this opportunity. That's how I'm going to put it. And he did. He was very grateful. First of all, you understand that you can go online to research anything. So the first step I did was, first of all, I already believe stem cells work. Because in LA, there's tons of doctors. My best friend would do this, okay? They heal people, like take out their own blood and put it, and he used a machine to do that kind of thing. I witnessed it. Several friends of mine were introduced to do that, and they get healed. So this is a simple thing, right? And then I tell myself, well, United States, they're not allowed for stem cells. So it's not allowed, so I can't do anything. So I would study online, that what kind of animals would help. Because I was like, there's pigs, I heard about pigs. Stem cells is not new. It's many years ago. We already heard about it. But I want to get the best stem cells. So then I got more knowledge about sheep, about rabbit, about human being, about bone marrow, about all those kind of things. So after I study it, I know the best stem cells. If you go Google online, the best stem cell, most effective, it's going to tell you one animal. Guess what it is? Rabbit. So when I talked to Dr. Chen, I said, Dr. Chen, so if I were to go with you, what kind of animal are you going to use for stem cells? Rabbit. So he gained my first trust on that. That's the story. Read a lot. Online, easy. Books, easy. And of course, last time he came, he also gave me the stem cells book. I read it. It was, those books that he himself wrote or co-op with other people, Well, he even told me that some of those books went into textbooks for some university. So I think that's of huge value to all of us. This time, my expectation is, first of all, that I would yet to see the effect of Jimmy, the stroke patient that I mentioned earlier. I think I'm a person that if I can help a lot of people, I really want to go out. Life is too short to not do something to help other people. And that's like a deep down joy that you feel so fulfilled, right? Because there's so many stroke patients in town. So that's my expectation. I want to see him well. And also for myself, this is the second time, because when I left, Dr. Chen already told me that people come back like a year. People that are well off, they come back every year. They're not, they can spare like 2 years, maximum 3 years, and we'll do it. And I didn't understand. And then he explained so clearly to me that as you are aging, so you're catching up. So my expectation is everybody wants a long life. There's no guarantee. But my take is I want a healthy life, however long it is. So when I came over this time, the difference was that because the technology was different. So last time when I did stem cells, it was different than this time. The injection was really different. So to me, I was really surprised because the technology is so advanced, and so did Dr. Chen catch up with technology. So this is something where I feel that he is so young and smart in this area. Where people just stay there, like this is all we offered and that's it. But this time when I came, I look at the equipment, even the doctors he hired, the service that they give, and the most important is the extra miles that they put through. And I want to tell you something very, very, I really appreciate that he discovered Jimmy has 2 little black cysts that judge out like a little knob. That is not normal. It really can be cancerous. So immediately he approved for him to do the a little minor surgery today. So that was very, very impressive. Like everywhere he sees things, when we come in here, we still do examinations, right? He will immediately turn the angle. You need to do this, you need to do this. So that's his suggestion. First of all, one thing that's impressive is I think the team and Dr. Chen cares for, is your body suitable to do stem cells? He's not the doctor that take the money, do it, whether or not it works, I don't care. No. He's like, you got to give me a questionnaire or the blood test result. And he told me he has a team of a few persons to study, expertise to study. So the prep work was done by him, which is great. So when you come in here, after the long hours of flight and this, he would prep you with some environment, some the oxygen house, I call it, to prepare your body's environment is good enough for the stem cell injection. And of course, you will be warned what kind of food you should eat, what kind of food you shouldn't eat. And I think from the front desk to the nurses to the doctors, you are taken care of like in minutes. In minutes. You do the infusion, you do the blood pressure measurement, everything. And even if you are doing something that with inside the oxygen house, they are lined up outside in case you need help or calling them. So those are the things that prep you feel very comfortable. And then when you do the stem cells, they will tell you. I think the most important thing I feel here so comfortable is the explicit disclosures of every step of the way what they're doing to you, your body, and even expectation after the stem cells. What do you need to take as supplements? And, the doctor was telling me if you can get it in the United States, great. If you can't, we can provide to you. And they'll explain so clear. And you know how many doctors in the United States would tell you that, this is my WhatsApp, this is my phone number, anytime call me anything. No. But all the doctors tell me that, you know what, get my phone number, get my contact. When you go back to the United States, you can question me any question, I'll answer you right away. I experienced this a lot of times. So That's something which I think is outstanding. And I also know from the cost viewpoint, one of my friends already did it. You know, a lot of people still do it, sneaking here and out and do it. The price was so outrageous. Broke my heart. In order to save a life, stem cell cost is so high for many other doctors. But for Dr. Chen, I would have to tell you, just my word, it's very, very reasonable. Extremely reasonable. Just buy a few handbags less, buy a few watches less. Anybody can do it. That's it. Because it's your life. That's how I made the decision. So this is what I believe in my life. And I've been a coach. I coach so many people from 18 years old to 35 years old. You are the average of the 5 persons you hang out with. You are who you are. When you do a lot of research on one area, you become the expert of that area. So, health is one of the major things that you live on. Without health, you can't do anything. I used to tell the young folks, if you work very hard for the next 5 years, you can do anything you want in your lifetime. But we're not young. Anybody over 50, they can be very old. Because I see people pass away 40 years old, 50 years old. So I think one thing I want you guys to realize that stem cells has been in town for so many years. The only problem I know for everyone is they don't know who is who. Am I taking some risk? I think because we have taken a lot of risk in our past life to eat anything we should not, to do anything that we should not, this is a good risk to take. So I would advise that anyone can call me anytime to ask of any question that I can answer you for my experience with Dr. Chen and the team and stem cells by calling me, but don't call me late at night. And you guys can get my phone number for the appropriate person here. All right? Just do it. Especially technology is so good right now. It's not causing you any little pain at all. It's just a pinch of a needle and it's done in less than 15 minutes. The problem with everyone here is they don't know what is stem cells. They think that you go into a surgery room and then with all the doctors and then you come out, anesthesia, you pass out. No, that's it. So it's very easy. And one more thing is prevention is always better than cure. Do physical checkup every year. And the great thing about stem cells is literally all the organs can be renewed. And renew it right now to give yourself the biggest gift. That's it. I'm in real estate. I think I'm very good. But it's only some people have found me and said, I wish I'd known you 10 years ago. We do business through referrals. I use my heart out to walk all the miles to help people. Not only from purchasing, it's after purchasing and look at all the angles, finances, choosing everything. I mean, real estate is nothing. I'm not talking about it right now. But I think Dr. Chen sees that I see this market that sometimes can be very unfortunate, just like you said. Even you have the money, you don't know how to reach out to Dr. Chen. He's so busy. But what he's doing right now, at least I think is more important than individual cure, is he's going around the world, going around the United States, have seminars to teach people. So the first step he did was so impressive to me is he started teaching doctors. Our future doctors need to be educated because Dr. Chen probably lived up to 130 years old to 150 years old. But after that, what's going to happen? So for us, as we're aging, older generation, I think my heart goes to the people that care for our next generation. That is already very sufficient because we're doing our best.